you're not selling. But we find out that sometimes you need to look at your strategy. Maybe I need to belong to an association. I need to belong to a group. The moment you do that and you're very consistent, before you know it, somebody says, hey, Joe, I have a job. Can you do this for me? Can you buy, sell this for me? Gradually, you start building your portfolio. Ever talk about people don't really know you. That's one of the weaknesses of a small business. You don't have a known brand. So that's why we always encourage latch on the existing brand. And that's one of the things that's worked for us. Strategic alliance. We don't want to go and be in the face of customer to get all the jobs. We know there are people there that can get the job easily. We latch on those guys. They get the jobs. They need trusted companies. They need trusted. It's still part of marketing. Yeah. It's still part of selling. True. They get the jobs and they look for we always say we look out for the small boys. We don't mind, but we know that our marketing strategy is working. Yeah. They give it to us, and gradually we're building our own profile. And before you give it to somebody else, wow, they say, okay, you have track record, and they begin to do business with you.
Now, another issue in terms of growing business is sustenance. For instance, you get that market, you get your customers. How do you sustain that market? How do you sustain your customers? How do you sustain your clients? Edward?
Sustainability, it's important because, again, the CEO, for instance, has to be on the cutting edge. You have to get to a point where you are never satisfied. If you have 5 customers, don't you know there is 6? Can you stretch out for more? If you're making 200 million, for instance, can't you make 201 million? So you have to keep daring, keep dreaming, you know. And again, sustainability is also key on satisfying these guys, you know, making sure that you satisfy a customer, you retain them, and you help them. You know, it's not just about selling
customer care.
As customer care, customer relations, such that you are now converting these guys to your partners, to your associate, and they put in, you know, good words for you out there, and that expands your scope. You know, again, we must also establish that customer care, customer service is way, way, way bigger than marketing. Yeah. As it is, but a lot of people focus on marketing, which is good way back, but now we should be looking at something bigger, because marketing helps you to sell. Even a bad salesman can make a sales.
Exactly. And when you draw them in, how do you sustain them?
Yeah. You know, even if you haven't made the sales, how do you still check on them? Do you still call them? Do you still, you know, just be within their loop, so that they're like, oh, somebody wants to do something that they know you do. Oh, I have this guy, I have this company, I know these guys. Go meet them. You know, but here we want to focus with make the sale, take the money, close, and run over to the next guy, which is not good. If we are not getting word of mouth and referrals, we are bad marketers.
Joel, you're itching to say something.
Yeah, I think Edward has practically nailed it, but I just want to talk about the part of service delivery. There's what we call the customer value diagram. You know, customers want quality service, they want timely delivery, they want credibility and so on. But when you look at the chart, the highest of them we always say is credibility.
Trust.
Customers, they need to deliver their service on time. They need quality service. It's expected. There are some natural norms which you as an entrepreneur should know. But the highest of it all is credibility. Once you're able to sustain credibility, once you're able to maintain credibility with your customers, sustainability is guaranteed. So your service delivery process is very important. Then you have to have what I call, as part of the business development skills, planning skills. You need to be very deliberate. You need to strategically plan that all you want to do after customer has been satisfied is to keep them as what we call raving fans. That should be your goal. You should keep them as raving fans. That is, you've satisfied these people. We should be deliberate, like some of our friends were discussing. We should be deliberate in asking a satisfied customer for more referrals, because sustainability is not just about just satisfying a customer. You need more customers that will pay you more to sustain the business. So a good planning skill is important, because sometimes you can have customers, then there's another default to sustainability. One of the things that sustains your business apart from customers is your financial management skills, which is a very strong skill that is very important, because you can be getting this money and you don't have what I call COPs or systems where you do what we call source and allocation of your fund. Your business will not be sustainable.
Yeah, I was going to come to that, because one of the major problems most people have, especially these small businesses coming up, they really don't know how to manage their finances. They don't know how to differentiate between their capital and their profit. And then you see, as they make the money, they plow it into, you know, some other thing. They can even use it to purchase their meal for the day, their personal things and all that. So how can someone growing a business, someone in a business, manage his or her finances?
Well, again, for me, from my own experience, any entrepreneur now that is facing that, nothing new is happening to you that has not happened to anybody, But getting out of that, some of the things that worked for me, one, which is knowledge. When you meet people, when you go for trainings and seminars, you hear that this thing is not good. So knowledge is the first thing that builds your knowledge and exposure, if I want to add that. Then the next thing after that is discipline. You have to know that business money is business money, personal money is personal money. So at the point when you've paid yourself for the month or for the year, and when you are through with that money, you are through. The other money in the account is your business money, not your personal money. So there shouldn't be any need. We got to a point that we started stashing our money in some account, and we gave the bank a mandate for them not to allow us withdraw. So that, and yes, it was painful. It wasn't really, speaking with people, they said, Edward, that's the way to go. You have to discipline yourself. You have to get to a point, you said that no money is no money.
Okay, right. You place yourself on the salary.
You place yourself on the salary, yeah. And again, having done that, the business will still have money, for instance, but you're not supposed, which is discipline. One of the key ingredients of financial success or making money or whatever is discipline. If the entrepreneur doesn't discipline his or herself, then there's nothing. Even if you allocate the money, and if you cannot have that restraint, you're still going to go back there and consume the money, consume your business.
Joe?
Yeah, what I would say is, Edward made about financial skills is it's important that every entrepreneur have financial intelligence. Very important. Through reading books. One of our big mentors will tell us that for you to succeed financially, you must read books that is as old as you are. So assuming you're 35 years old, as an entrepreneur, you should have read about 35 books on financial management. Then for me, there are three important things in the business, why you actually start a business. One of them is to make money, another one is to invest money, and the other one is to reduce expenses. So as an entrepreneur, these three things should be key in our heart. We must make money. We're in that business to make money, and we're also in that business to save money in terms of investment. Then we're also in that business to reduce expenses. But then we acquire financial skills, very important. Then like what we've tried to do in our organization is to have different accounts where for every income we make, a certain percentage of it goes straight into the account, because you're going to have other expenses to pay. You have salaries there, you have your running costs there. All of those things need to be deliberately planned for. Then you talked about understanding financial statements. It's very important. There are several trainings. We arranged one of those trainings too. You don't need to be an accountant for you to have financial knowledge. Understand how your balance sheet works. Understand what's your expenditure, your
basic accounting.
Basic accounting. We call it accounting for non-finance people. Something you can do within 2-3 days. You understand how the financial system works. And I know a lot of banks are coming up with programs to try to equip their SME customers on having good knowledge of how their financial system runs.
Yeah. Now, in all of this that we have said, looking at the SMEs in Nigeria, how much of capacity building do you think they have actually gone through? Do you see, a lot of trainings on this, this kind of things we're talking about, people building their capacity towards growing their businesses?
I don't even know this jokingly. I was in Cross River State about 2 weeks ago, and this issue of capacity building really came up because I was offering a body day, an SME body day capacity building program. And you know what he told me? He said, Joel, I think SMEs are getting weary of capacity building. They need finance to run their business. So I say it's a very light one there. The truth is, capacity building trainings are out there. A lot of SMEs are assessing it. But I think what we need to quickly sort along the line, which I know government is doing, because we're part of a project where we've seen government, giving funds to people that have very good business idea. People want to go for training, but they are getting a bit wary about training. What they need is, how will I get these trainings to work for me? So I think one of the critical things we need to look at in the development of SMEs in Nigeria is, yes, the training is good. A lot of us are going for the training. Companies are sending their people for trainings, but they need the finance to get those trainings to work effectively.
Can I have a last word from you?
Yeah, for me, finally, I think, again, if we go back to our initial definition of the SME, which is in terms of revenue and people, it's very key that the entrepreneur understands that for you to grow and achieve that size in terms of people, you need to have people skill. Do you understand? If you want